When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems.
Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call.
Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs.
Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on the Andrew Johnson Highway.
Ann got hurt in a wreck between two trucks. The insurance companies blamed each other and just wouldn't be fair. So we took it to court and got Ann a settlement of $180,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like G3 John boats, built Gator tough. G3 Johns include all the features you could want from a workhorse boat. Massive live well capacity, lockable storage, even a midship fuel tank that allows for smoother running. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports. You are watching the Sports Source Kickoff with John Pennington, presented by Madisonville Marine.
Good Thursday evening and welcome into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by our friends at Madisonville Marine. We have a full preview of Tennessee, South Carolina. What's going without Kamara in there? Who should get the carries? Will Muschamp's defense, will it be able to slow the Vols? He's 4-0 against Tennessee. Lots to cover in there. And if you're tired of the targeting rule, we'll quickly discuss that a little bit later. Put the rule on the screen, let you see it. We'll talk targeting. But let's just dive right into this Tennessee, South Carolina stuff. First segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. John boats, bass boats, whatever type of boat you need, they have it. There's no better place to buy a boat than Madisonville Marine. All right, we always start with the stakes. And right now it's pretty easy. The stakes are Tennessee has a stretch run in front of it that allows it to do everything they wanted to do at the beginning of the season. You can still go 10-2, which would be Tennessee's fourth 10-win season in the last 18 years. Haven't had that kind of success in a while. Have a chance to win the East, and if you win the East, you have a chance to win the SEC. If you somehow win the SEC, Gary Danielson on CBS last week said you might even have a chance into the playoffs if you got a lot of help. I don't know that I would agree with that, but basically a lot of stuff still on the table for the Volunteers over this last 5-game stretch. Huge. One of the big challenges in this 5-game stretch, the road games. That's this week against South Carolina. Gentlemen, want to introduce the panel right here. Jimmy Himes, who is with Sports Radio WNML. I got the name right. We've got Mike Griffith from SECCountry.com. And right down there, former Vol player, former Vol quarterback, Sterling Hinton, VFL.
Yes, sir.
All right. Every week we do 3 up, 3 down, where we talk about players who've been playing well, who've been playing poorly, who need to play better. We're going to take a little bit different tack with this one this week. You've had so many people hurt, so many people coming back, that let's just cover some of the injuries that we know of. So when we're talking about the 3 up, I want to know the impact of some of these guys who are coming back. And in a minute, when we talk 3 down, we'll talk about the impact of the people who are down and out. So first, Jimmy, I'll start with you. Darren Kirkland, up and around. Looks like he's going to play. Probably going to be on the field with Colton Jumper. They're going to move Jumper a little bit. How big of a help for Tennessee to have a player like Darren Kirkland back?
I think it'll be a huge help. I mean, Tennessee's run defense the last 2 weeks was horrible against A&M and Alabama. They gave up 395.5 yards a game rushing in those 2 games. Kirkland is a very good player. I think he's a more sure tackler. Will he be a little bit rusty after missing 5 games? Potentially. But one other thing that's an issue too, and that is that Tennessee's lack of communication. Excuse me, Todd Kelly Jr. talked about that the defensive backs to the linebackers to the defensive line haven't been on the same page. They need to be better at that. But I think Kirkland's the kind of guy that even if you make a mistake or two, he can make up for it. He's a good athlete.
Very good. Mike Griffith, up. Brett Kendrick, Chance Hall, Sean Robertson, starters on that line. Other guys on the line, your thoughts on the offensive line, at least getting those three back, maybe more?
Well, I mean, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse than what you saw at the end of that Alabama game. There was one starter left on the line, Coleman Thomas. Both tackles were knocked out of the game. Deshaun Robertson didn't play. Dylan Wiseman didn't play. I mean, it's been an absolute mess. It's been a failure. It's been probably the worst offensive line in the SEC, if not for Josh Dobbs' mobility. I can only imagine what those sack numbers would be. Yep. I do think that returning those players will help. John, still you're looking at 5th or 6th different combination of starters on the offensive line. That's not good for continuity. And then you add to that mix that all these different defenses are a little bit different. Some odd number fronts, a lot of 4-3, even some bear fronts. So you got a lot of moving pieces there, and I think Butch Jones has got to take a good hard look at his recruiting at that position and maybe even the coach.
Don't disagree with you. Let me throw this out. I should have said it earlier. We're talking injuries on Thursday. With this coaching staff, that can sometimes, what you hear on Thursday might not be what you see on Saturday. I'm hinting at the Jalen Hurd situation a couple weeks ago when he was full go on Monday and then didn't practice the whole week and didn't play against Texas A&M. So when we're talking about injuries right now, that could change by Saturday. All right, Sterling Hinton, up. Malik Foreman, Balen Buchanan at cornerback. You've been hurt there without Cam Sutton all season basically since he went down. To get those two back, the impact on the team.
Oh, the impact is incredible. I mean, Malik Foreman has got an amount of experience that we need back there right now. I mean, Buchanan, look at the genetics. That's Big Play Ray's son. I mean, I'm just saying. We got some guys coming back in the defensive backfield that's going to actually secure the passing game. We need those extra guys for fatigue standpoint because it's such a pass-happy league now. So we got experienced DBs coming in, a very talented freshman. I like those DBs coming back with a big up for our defensive backfield.
I think you hit a key there you've got some people now that you can at least rotate.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things you saw those last 2 weeks with all the injuries, by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, you were gassed because you just didn't have that many guys to rotate through there. Your substitution pattern is thrown off when you don't have substitutes. Just kind of A goes along with B. Jimmy Hines, let's talk the down, guys that are out. We got a couple of guys back at corner, but Micah Abernathy pulled up the hamstring against Alabama. We don't know if he's up, down, probably down against South Carolina. If he's out, the impact of losing Micah Abernathy.
Well, I think it hurts. Tennessee's looking at maybe getting some more snaps for Evan Berry. They may be looking at getting some more snaps for Nigel Warrior, who could end up playing. But I thought Abernathy started the season pretty strong. I think he's one of their faster safeties, and I think he helps in that regard. But if he doesn't play, then you get back. And what's interesting, I thought the secondary is one of the deeper positions going into the year. Yeah. But they've had so many injuries there, and some guys probably hadn't played to their ability. But if Abernathy's not there, I think it hurts the secondary. The thing that may help them a little bit is that South Carolina is not exactly the best passing team in the SEC.
Far from it. And I think Justin Martin is one of the issues. You know, one of the guys that it's not injury related. You expected more depth there. You lose Cam Sutton. Justin Martin doesn't live up. Those are issues. All right, Mike Griffith. Kendall Vickers should be back. That's good. But Khalil McKenzie's now down for the count. You've already lost Danny O'Brien. So now you're looking at 2 of your top 3 defensive tackles out. Impact. Vickers back. But now take McKenzie out as well as O'Brien. What's the defensive line?
Yeah, well, you know, Butch has talked a lot about Shy Tuttle, a guy that broke his leg last year, and I thought made a really great comeback from that. But now you're asking this guy to go from making just a great comeback to stepping it up another level. I mean, it's a lot to ask from Shy Tuttle, but I think he's a great player, and I think he can do that. Also, Kyle Phillips is a 5-star guy, really a defensive end at 258, 259 that got thrown into the fire at Alabama, John, without any reps. And he's going to stay there. He wants to play. Meanwhile, you got Jonathan Kongbo telling everybody he's going to take over the world. He's willing to be a backup end. He's got 4 tackles and none in SEC play. But for some reason, the coaches were, oh, no, he's settled in. He's comfortable. Guys, it's not rocket science. He's 284. He should be at tackle. Why isn't he?
The coaches jumped to his defense this week, saying he'll be ready. Did. He's learning he's learning the position. He's ready to go. You're going to see him take over here down the stretch. You're going to see him get better down the stretch. You do have to keep in mind, though, the guy didn't play a lot of high school football. I mean, he is still learning the game.
Why do you suppose he was the #1 ranked JUCO player, though?
At the same point, well, you're probably playing against lesser talent.
Well, he'll be doing that the last 5 games.
Well, there you go. Then, so what you're saying is the coaches are right.
Settled in. Settled in.
Sterling,
That's right.
last one. This is the biggie, though. This is the last one. Very quickly,
Big dog.
Alvin Kamara down. He's running back. He's a receiver. He's your return man. Can you replace someone that is that dynamic?
Replace him with one person? No. Alvin Kamara is an incredible athlete, an incredible talent, an incredible weapon for your offense. But we do have pieces that can be put in his place to take sections of his game to compensate for his absence. So I'm excited about some guys stepping up. I mean, Kelly's going to be there. I mean, we got some receivers that are taking their game to another level. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen these last 5 games, where guys are going to be commanded to do the things Alvin Kamara can do on the field.
Positivity. Always positivity from Sterling at 9. When we come back, who should get most of the carries this week, Hurd or Kelly? Can Will Muschamp slow the Vols' offense? We'll discuss that when we come back on the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like Skeeter Bass Boats, the maker of the very first American bass boat. Skeeter's consistent innovation creates the most maneuverable, best engineered, and best designed boats for anglers everywhere. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with beautiful home theater seating. No matter your budget or room size, Games and Things has you covered with a wide variety of styles and configurations, from simple comfort to the latest seating innovations. Watch the big game, a movie, or your favorite TV show in the lap of luxury. See the selection online at OurGameRoom.com or visit Games and Things, Kingston Pike at Lovell Road, because life should be fun.
Games and Things, because life should be fun, fun, fun.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on I-40 near Asheville Highway.
Ed got rear-ended by a truck and hurt his back. He couldn't have an MRI because of an old war injury, so the insurance company refused to pay. We filed a lawsuit and they paid. Ed fought for all of us, and we fought for Ed.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
Did he? Almost. Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment brought to you by Games and Things, because life should be fun. Visit their huge showroom off Lovell Road, exit Games and Things. All right, 2 questions, 2 minutes each. I want you to hit your buzzers when you want to chime in or when you want to silence the other guy. If you got a problem with what he's saying, hit that buzzer. First question, Alvin Kamara is out. South Carolina's rush defense ranks just 10th in the SEC, allowing 4.99 yards per game, actually a little better than Tennessee, who's at 5.14. How should Tennessee attack the Gamecocks? Should it be lots of Jalen Hurd, which you would expect, or should it be a mix, or should it be more John Kelly? And let's go to the stats before you answer. There are your yards per carry averages. Kelly at 6 points. Now, he's got 19 carries against the John Chavis defense that apparently didn't show up that day. But Hurd down there at 3.82. Kamara, of course, out with a knee injury. Guys, whoever wants it can take it. Who should be getting the carries this week?
I want it. I want it, and I want it big time. And this is why I want it, because I want to see not only Jalen Hurd getting the ball, but I want to see more runs by our dynamic quarterback, Josh Dobbs. I want more read option.
Not an
true
option.
Read option. True read. It is an option.
Don't
True
want my
read option
choices.
against South Carolina. I like it, Daddy.
All right, now let's go back to my question. The hardball question: Kelly or Hurd?
I go with Hurd. And Kelly will come back to supplement when he does.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think you got to go with Jalen Hurd. I mean, he's your proven guy. He's your junior. At some point, Jalen Hurd has got to get on track. He ranks 123rd in the nation in rushing. There's only 2 players that have had as many carries as Jalen Hurd who have fewer yards. So you're looking at a guy that's averaging 3.8 yards that's also looking at the NFL. Somebody's in his ear telling him, you better step it up, Jalen, or you're going to be spending another year at Tennessee. I think he'll show up.
Wow. That's a long one.
That's a long one. I'm going to go more with Kelly, and here's why. To me, Jalen Hurd is a guy that is trying to run over everybody, not around anybody. And this offensive line is banged up. I don't think the holes are going to always be there when he carries it. And if it's not, he's going to plow in the middle and get 2, 3, 4 yards. Kelly is more elusive. Kamara was more elusive in the hole. And I think Kelly needs to get more carries because the offensive line is banged up and the holes will not be there every time for Hurd.
Okay, is that the biggest drawback, you think? Does everybody agree that it's more offensive line than Hurd? In terms of his,
I don't know. John Kelly's averaged over 6 yards. I think Texas A&M showed up. I think you better give Tennessee credit for that.
You think that defense showed up?
I think that was
84 yards.
Did you see?
Really? I bet John Chavis would say that.
I saw 9 Tennessee guys scraped off the field. I think that was a hard-hitting football game. I give both teams credit for that.
I'm not trying to say they don't get credit, but I'm just saying I would not anticipate over the last 5 games. If John Kelly averages 6 yards per carry over the last 5, then why has he not been playing all year? I don't anticipate that level of production. I don't anticipate that level of production. You do?
I do. I think he'll average 6 yards
a
over
carry?
these next 5 games? Absolutely.
John Kelly will average 6 yards. Okay.
Write it down.
Then he should play more against South Carolina.
Probably, but I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do it.
But you said they should. This is a should question.
No, I think this is where you got to give Jalen Hurd an opportunity. I mean, the guy's your prima donna. You got to play him.
All right.
Prima donna. Well, pre-med. I wouldn't say prima donna.
Hit your buzzer if you want to take a shot there.
He might be wearing a green jersey underneath his orange jersey on Saturday.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Will Muschamp 4-0 against Tennessee, 2-0 against Butch Jones. Look there at, you see Tennessee has averaged 17 points against Muschamp's defense. They've averaged only 42 yards rushing against his defense, only 268 total yards against his defense. Tennessee's averaging 30 points per game. Will Muschamp does not have the talent at Carolina that he had at Florida. Does he hold Tennessee below the 30-point average?
I say no. Because you hit it. He doesn't have the players that he had at Florida, and they don't have that G on their helmet for Gators. South Carolina's defense is not very good, and I watched them against UMass, and UMass had 26 points, and if their quarterback could have hit anybody, they scored in the 40s. They had people running wide open the whole game. I don't think South Carolina's defense is that good. I think Tennessee will get over 30.
I disagree, and I think Tennessee's offense could get over 30, but listen to Mike DeBoer talk. He's talking about wanting to run the football more, and so I don't think they're going to score that many points. I think they're going to pound it. I think they're going to try and control it, and I think this game will probably be played with a point total under 40.
All right. Really? There we go. Boy, he's busted it.
I mean, come on, Mike. You ain't think Coach DeBoer is going to put his game plan on TV and do what he said he's going to do on TV? I mean, under 40? No. Not total points, not at all. Tennessee's going to score over 30 and score over 30 big in South Carolina.
All right, let me show you a concern. We got another graphic here. Do big plays favor South Carolina? Here's what we got. Tennessee's offense on plays of 30 yards or more this year. They rank 8th in the SEC with only 16. Carolina's number 1 in the league. They've only given up 7 plays all year of more than 30 yards. And then you look on South Carolina's offense, they got 12, a little below Tennessee. Tennessee's defense giving up 18 so far. That's 11th in the SEC. But the big thing here, and this is what I would pay attention to in terms of Muschamp's defense. South Carolina only giving up 7 plays of 30 yards or more, all right? You're talking about a Tennessee offense. Shoots itself in the foot a whole lot. Penalties, turnovers. If you're telling me that they're going to have to go out there and have long, time-consuming drives where they take care of the football and they run off 10 straight plays and it's not big plays, I think that kind of plays into South Carolina unless Tennessee can do as it did against Alabama. I'll give them credit. Against Alabama, they weren't butterfingers. But if they play like they did for the first half of the year before Alabama, I think that's a concern in terms of this team going against that defense.
I could see it as a concern, but here's the thing about South Carolina's defense, too. Look at their strength of schedule. Who they play.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is. And I think that skews their defensive numbers a little bit. I've watched them play, and I just don't think they're very good on defense.
They did hang with Texas A&M into the fourth quarter.
And I think that was A&M's. They didn't come to play that game.
They didn't come to play that game. All right, that's the one. That's the one they didn't come to play.
Top 10 team, they don't come to
when we come back, we still have predictions to make. But, wow, that kind of fell down there. We still have predictions to make, but also, next, targeting. Why the rule sucks. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with a new pool table. Games and Things features a huge selection, including Brunswick and Olhausen, 2 of the most respected brands in the industry. Traditional, contemporary, rustic, or formal, Games and Things has many styles to choose from. You can even customize the pool table to fit your own personal taste. See the selection online at OurGameRoom.com or visit our award-winning showroom at Kingston Pike and Lovell Road.
Games and Things, 'cause life should be fun, fun, fun.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems.
Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like the G3 Talon Series. Talons give you everything you want from an all-aluminum boat. A smooth ride thanks to wave-splitting entry lines, lockable storage, live wells, insulated coolers. G3 Talons have it all. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
And welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment of our show brought to you by Phoenix Conversions. When you've got to have a conversion done on your truck, your van, your SUV, turn to the guys who've been doing it since 1987. Phoenix Conversions. You see their website right there. All right, I want to start out, big picture item. I'm tired of hearing about it. It's on Twitter. It's every week. People complain about this thing. It's the targeting rule. Let me show you. There's two parts to this rule in the rule book. Rule 9.1.3. No player shall target and initiate contact against an opponent with the crown of his helmet. When in question, it is a foul. And it was emphasized last month, the crown is anything above the face mask to the dome of the helmet, okay? Now, nowhere in there does it say defenseless in 9.1.3. Now let's look at 9.1.4. No player shall target and initiate contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent with the helmet, forearm, fist, elbow, or shoulder. When in question, it is a foul. Those are the written rules on targeting. But you typically only see targeting called when a player is viewed as defenseless. I just think that's the default position for officials. We saw it earlier with the Tennessee call this year. Usually these guys aren't going to call it unless they think a guy is defenseless. To me, though it's not the letter of the law, it applies. It's a little like a double play in baseball. Second baseman gets that ball, he's supposed to touch the bag. Usually they don't. They give him the out anyway. I think that's the way they call this, and until they change the emphasis, I think they're going to keep calling it that way, to where if it's not a defenseless player, if they don't define it as defenseless, you're probably not going to see a flag. Do you guys agree with that? And that's not defending it. That's simply, here's the rule, and here's the reality of how they call it. And I think that's the reality of how they call it. Agree, disagree?
It's football's version of the charge. It's a judgment call from official to official by the letter of the law. There's a lot of times it can be called. I think there was some flagrant examples in that Alabama-Texas A&M game where a kick returner looked like he took a shot. I thought the defender was engaged. I thought the kick returner had plenty of time to see him. Therefore, I wouldn't have called it. I understand the intent of the rule.
It's good intention.
To protect player. You know what else is a good idea? And Sterling can tell you this. Hey, you don't want your guys to get hit, don't throw over the middle. When there's a defender come, how about the coaches defend the players? I mean, that's what this game's all about.
It's a good idea, but it's the implementation
But I'll disagree on the kickoff return with Alabama. That was targeting to me, because he led with the crown of his helmet, and the guy who was running the football, he's not defenseless, but he led with the crown of the helmet. And you just showed the rule that said that if you lead with the crown of the helmet, that's a targeting call. But it's the thing that's frustrating, and it's just like pass interference for me. I can't tell sometimes because I think they're called inconsistently. And that's a struggle. But the problem with it too, as you've touched on it, the penalty is so severe. You get kicked out the rest of that half and the next half. That's a mighty strong penalty if you miss that call.
Do you agree that it's typically called only on the
absolutely. Typically. I can't put percentage on that.
I would say it's 90%.
And I'll go, let me take another step. I think it's causing injuries because defensive players, I mean, Jalen Reeves-Maben got hurt hitting the ground. Cam Sutton got hurt trying to break down. I think defenders are, I think it's leading to injuries.
I think there are more injuries to targeting.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the rule. I have a problem with the implementation of the rule. Sterling, the ejection thing, to me, you can withstand a bad 15-yard penalty.
Yes.
But when you take a player out of it, that's too much. Do you agree that if you took out the ejection part of it, would you feel better about that rule?
I absolutely agree. It should be any ejection in the game of football unless it is a fight. That's it. Football is a violent game. Make the calls. Do not get rid of players that play a game they love to play. And you have to understand it's a collision sport, not contact.
All right, very good, guys. And the bottom line on targeting, you read the rules, but they're not going to call it by the rule until they start emphasizing it. And just get used to it. It's just like the double play in baseball. All right, when we come back, Tennessee, 14-point favorite against South Carolina. Will they cover? We'll tell you why they will or why they won't. Come on back.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, and the biggest selection of boats in the area. Boats like G3 John boats, built Gator tough. G3 Johns include all the features you could want from a workhorse boat. Massive live well capacity, lockable storage, even a midship fuel tank that allows for smoother running. See for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates. Like this one on North Peters Road.
Lee got hurt when she was broadsided by a speeding car. The insurance company offered nothing, so we went to court and got a verdict of $99,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years, and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
From kitchens and bathrooms to custom patios, decks, living rooms, and even shutters, let the remodeling team at Benedict Construction turn your home into your dream home.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. This final segment presented by Safety Systems. When you want a man cave theater entertainment room in your home, call the folks who have perfected it. Trust me on this. Safety Systems. And VFL J.J. Surlis works there. He's the guy to give a shout to. All right, want to remind you, tomorrow at 4 p.m., I will be joining the Sports Radio WNML crew, Pigskin panel. Jimmy, John Wilkerson, I guess Will Overstreet will be there. All right, and then coming up on Sunday, don't forget the #1 rated sports show in the market. There it is, the Sports Source, 11 a.m. on Channel 6. A huge panel of people, just tons of guests walking in and out of the studio. I have no control over them. And then finally, here is your line. Tennessee opened as a 14-point favorite. Two of the main books out in Vegas still have it as 13.5. MGM Casinos have it at 14 still. We'll say 14 for the sake of argument and making it more difficult here on some of the guys who have a 14-point pick. Tell me why the Vols will cover or why they won't cover. You got about 20 seconds, Sterling.
Oh, we're going to cover. We're going to cover fast. We're going to score fast. So once we get them behind and down the distance and behind the game plan, they're going to try to throw the ball, and that's my defense is going to score points. So we're definitely going to cover.
All right, we got to cover. Why will they cover or why won't they cover?
I got a 24-10, John.
So you got to push.
I got to push.
Why will they push?
Williams-Brice Stadium, jacked up South Carolina crowd. South Carolina believes they can win this game. Tennessee's going to make sure they don't lose it. Conservative game plan. Tennessee wins the game in a much closer and sloppier game than you'd like to see.
I think Tennessee will cover it, and I think they'll play one of their cleaner games. And I don't think South Carolina's defense is very good. I think you'll see Dobbs running the ball more. I think excuse me, boy, you'll see more explosive plays from Tennessee's offense. And I think with that open date, you'll see a fresher Tennessee football team.
Okay, I think Tennessee should be helped by this. The last 4 Tennessee-South Carolina games, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 2 points. That's what you're looking at. 4 games in a row decided by less than 3. Tennessee going, if they win this one, it will be their 4th in a row against South Carolina, which would be the longest win streak in the series since the Vols had a 12-game winning streak snapped in 2005. I'm going to take them I'll take them by 13.5, so I say they won't cover. I don't think they'll cover. We'll see. I'll go with the fact that South Carolina is going to give them a challenge. I think it's the SEC. There are going to be challenges down the stretch. I think the road games are more likely to do it. So I think South Carolina and Vandy are going to be the ones that give you a challenge. I still think they win comfortably, but I don't think they'll cover the 14. We will see you Sunday at 11 on WATE 6. We'll see you right back here next Thursday, 7 p.m. for the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. Thanks for watching.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.